Hey, what's going on there? It's Wildlife X Team here, and today we want to show you guys how to get rid of those pesky little bees. It's important to get rid of bees because the stings can be very painful. It's filled with venom, and to some people that can get an allergic reaction, it could even be fatal. So it's very important to get rid of bees, and they can also cause damage to your property. If you have any wooden areas, there are carpenter bees which will quite literally eat their way through the wood. It can also leave horrible smells from the honeycombs. That smell can attract other wildlife animals, and then all in all, the bees just expand. If you find one hive, odds are you're going to find some more because they like to expand, and so as soon as you think you have a bee problem, you want to get rid of bees immediately. We wanted to add in too that it's okay for bees to be in your garden or for a couple to be flying around. That's perfectly normal, and it's actually healthy for the environment. Bees can spread pollen from flowers, helping flowers to populate, and it's all around good for the ecosystem. However, it can be a pest or a nuisance if they make a hive inside of your house, right outside of your house, because that can be a danger to yourself. So if you're noticing a very large quantity of bees, or you even find a hive, then you should continue watching. But if it's just a couple, then you can use some simple tactics in this video just to get rid of that one or two. But for the most part, a couple bees aren't going to be a problem. So what are some signs of having a bee problem? Well, the first and obvious one is you simply see a hive. There's going to be lots of bees around it. They're going to be coming all over the place, and they're going to be more aggressive when you're near the hive. A few other signs could be an excessive amount of bees in your garden. If there's just tons and tons of them and it's getting quite dangerous and you're constantly hearing it, that could be another issue. Buzzing in the walls is going to be a great sign as well, or not a great one because it's not good for you, but it's a big sign. Or if you hear it in your attic, any type of buzzing that you're hearing inside of your house could be a sign of bees. And then another one is going to be holes in wooden walls, because those carpenter bees love to dig their way through wood. So how do you get rid of these bees? If you think you have a bee problem, there are several different ways you can get rid of the hives or the bees in general. But before you do any personal methods, you might want to first check with a beekeeper. Sometimes beekeepers will relocate the hives for free because some bees are becoming endangered, and so the beekeeper can remove the hive and place it in a different location, which is going to be better for the environment, and it's going to help the bees stay alive. Again, you're going to want to check with your local area, and it's really going to be dependent on what the beehive status is like. If it's in great quality and the beekeeper can easily remove it and relocate it quickly, he might do it for free or for a very cheap price. But if he's not able to do it for cheap or a reduced price, or you're not caring too much and you just want to get them out, you could call a pest removal company. But assuming you don't want to do either of those, let's go into some ways that you can personally remove the bees. With these next few recommendations, it's best to do it at night and wear lots and lots of protective clothing. You don't want to get stung, and if you're allergic, you might want to convince somebody else to do it for you that is not allergic. The risk of dealing with a hive and being in that area is going to be very, very high. And if you haven't located the hive, that's going to be your first order of priority. So once you found the hive, you want to go to it in the night. This is because most bees are going to be dormant in the night, or you're just going to want to make sure that there's not a lot of bees flying around, because if there's a ton of bees flying around, it's just going to be riskier for you. So you want to do this when they're asleep. And you want to wear protective clothing. Wear very thick gloves, wear, big jackets so that way they can't sting you, and then preferably something to cover your face as well, so that way you don't get stung on the neck or the head. Just be fully covered so that way there's no possibility of you getting stung. Even if you're not allergic, it's going to be painful, and in even people that are not allergic, getting stung 5-10 times could cause an allergic reaction even if you've survived one before. The first way is half vinegar and half water sprayed at the beehive. Just put half vinegar, half water into a spray bottle and then spray the beehive at night, again with protective clothing, and then also spray the areas where the bees like to go. For example, if the beehive is right next to your garden where there's lots of flowers, you could even spray the area around that, so that way the bees are de-incentivized to go in that area. Do this every single day, and eventually the bees are going to go away. And it'll get to a point where you can remove the hive yourself safely. Another thing you could do is get a bug zapper strip. This is going to be at every Walmart or almost every big store, probably even the convenience stores, and you're just going to want to get a bug zapper strip that is electrically powered, and you're just going to place it right next to the hive. So then as bees are coming in and leaving, they're going to get electrocuted and they're going to die. And over time, the beehive is going to move away and they're going to kind of realize, okay, this is not a good place for the hive to be. Another method is boiling water and soap. In fact, even with the vinegar and water method, you'll probably want to boil the water. The boiling water alone will probably call the bees, and mixing the soap with the boiling water is just going to make it extra deadly for the bees. So all you're going to do is you're just going to splash that boiling water with soap right on the hive, again with protective clothing and at a dormant time, and that should get rid of the majority of it pretty quickly. If it's still there the next day, just keep doing it every single day, and within a few days, all the bees are going to be gone. If these easier natural methods didn't work, there's tons of pesticides and insecticides that you can purchase, so that way you can just spray it, and a lot of them are nerve agents, so they're a little bit more dangerous, but if you're using it properly, it's going to be safer. We're not going to dive too much into the deep stuff of like insecticides and all kinds of stuff like that. These natural methods usually work, and there's usually no need for that kind of stuff, but if you're able to purchase insecticides and you're okay with using it and spraying it around your house, then that's another way which can be very effective in getting rid of insects immediately. So now that you know how to get rid of bees once they're there, let's go over some ways to prevent bees even coming into your property or area in the first place. Applying these principles or tactics as well is also going to help in the removal of bees, so you can do both of these at the same time if you already found bees in your area. However, if you don't have bees in your area, but you live in an area that tends to have a lot of bees, you should probably use these prevention tips just so that way they don't come. The first biggest one is hanging or placing mothballs. This is actually great for keeping all kinds of insects away from your property. Insects hate mothballs, so if you can get some mothballs and hang or place them in different areas around your property, and especially right next to the hive, if you've located a beehive, then that's going to get rid of the insects that much quicker. Another one is placing cinnamon outdoors. Cinnamon and also mint tends to repel creatures, and there are some mint smelling plants too, which usually repels bees as well, that you can get and place in your garden. However, the mothballs alone are probably going to be the most effective, but if you live in an area where it tends to be a very big problem, then you might want to use the cinnamon and the other strategies as well. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Bees can be a very huge problem, and now you know how to prevent it as well as get rid of bees. It's a huge problem for getting stung, and if you have allergies, it can be very life-threatening. And so now that you know these strategies and tactics to get rid of bees and prevent them, we hope that your life can be safer, more pleasant, because your property won't be having these pesky little insects. We really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit like and leave a comment and let us know if you have any questions or what you think, and we will address it down below. And we'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed.